It's a knockout.
International Super Bantamweight Champion and the current Featherweight Champion of Great Britain. Three champions at one of our fighting or real fighting for this fighting prospect with the two boys themselves as they lead in the side. Hopefully next year, Billy and John Wilson in the two hands which is a 6-round, 3 minutes each round, lightweight contest between Adam Producer from the blue corner from Preston, Colin Sinner. And he's from Mark Buckley boxing from the red corner from North End, ladies and gentlemen. Your referee for this contest is Arnold Price.
finishing. Ridiculous.
It's a knockout!
The man you're here to support.
Yeah, he's in my gym. He's a spawn partner, and I'm expecting him to do very, very well in this fight.
Now he's someone that's on the way up. Of course, you've done very well already, and already you're the WBC International Featherweight Champion.
Yeah.
So many titles around nowadays, international titles and world titles and various weights and all the rest of it. Just explain what the international title is.
Well, the international title is for boxers outside the top 10, but inside the top 30. So it's for world-rated boxers only. So it gives everybody a chance to fight for the title. So that's a good thing about the international title.
Now, don't go away. Talking about fighting, we can't fight against this fanfare, so we'll just listen to this and then we'll chat again.
He's in great shape, Paul. He's really trained hard for this fight. So I can see him put 100% effort into the fight.
And now, the local boy, Peter Till. We can try again, John. John Davison just explaining that the international title is for those outside the top 10, but in the top 30, and he is the champion. And you're going to be fighting very shortly for...
Yeah, we're hoping the first of us went out today. We're hoping to fight Paul Hodgkinson for the European title. So that's what I'm aiming for.
That should be a goodie. Should be a goodie.
Oh, the World War III, the main Paul fight.
Right.
Things didn't turn out too well for him, but he's back up well on the road and recovered now, and it's nice to see him here tonight. Rod Douglas!
There's our man, Rod Douglas.
Next, ladies and gentlemen, a young man who will be boxing for the British Light Heavyweight Championship here in the Midlands on the 19th of March against Steve McCarthy. He's after Steve McCarthy's title, the Midland Area Light Heavyweight Champion, Roy Skeldon! And also at ringside, another young man from the Midlands who on the 28th of March at Alfreton will be fighting Tony Burke in a final eliminator for the British Middleweight Championship, the middleweight champion of the Midlands area, John Ashton. Viewers on Sportscast will be able to see that live on the 28th of March.
So, John, this fight in front of us. Peter Till, Paul Charters, you're with the Geordie boy, obviously.
Yeah, he's in really top form. I mean, I spar with Paul and he's really looking sharp. So I'm hoping for him to do the business tonight.
But he's in alien territory. In alien territory tonight.
Well, just make him fight all the harder, that's all. He knows what he's got to do. He knows he spars with us, and when we spar, we'll do spar. We don't take any prisoners. And I think he'll go there and do the business tonight.
Right, well, John, we wish you luck in your next fight. Thanks for joining us on Sportscast. We'll be looking out for that fight against Paul Hodgkinson. Thanks very much indeed. So, John Davison there.
This is a contest of 10
Let's hear the announcement.
rounds presented by Pro Sport and National Promotions. In the blue corner, wearing the black trunks, from Newcastle, the lightweight champion of the Northern area, Paul Charters.
What it is to be popular.
And in the red corner, wearing the turquoise trunks from Walsall, the lightweight champion of the Midlands area, Peter Till. On the weighing today, Charters scale 9 stone 8 pounds, Till 9 stone 8.5 pounds. Your officials for this contest appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control, the timekeeper, Mr. Norman Maddox, the referee, Mr. John Coyle.
John Coyle, very experienced referee, bringing the two boxers to the middle. And we'll do our best to make ourselves heard. With me again at ringside, Rod Douglas. Rod, a quick word from you.
Well, it seems as if the whole of Walsall have come out to see this fight. It's one thing you can't take away from the small hall, where you really get a good atmosphere. I'm looking forward to a really good, exciting fight.
10 3-minute rounds. Peter Till from Walsall in the turquoise trunks. And Paul Charters from Newcastle.
The whole place has suddenly come alive once the two fighters came out of the ring. Oh, the two looks like
They'll enjoy that exchange.
he's hurted.
So similar sort of records, these two boys. Both of them have had their upsets, had a little layoff, and then come back with a vengeance. Till 27 contests, 22 wins, 4 defeats and 1 draw. And Charters, 23 contests, 13 wins, 10 defeats. Oh, but now Till, the local
Charters got
in
him.
trouble.
He caught him with a lovely left hook there, and then he followed up with a right uppercut, and Till's in trouble.
Till just covering up, he's not throwing anything in exchange. And Charters, well, John Davison was telling us he's in rare form, and he looks it. The Northern Area champion against the Midland Area champion, and the Midland Area champion is on his way out. He manages to hang on and stay up. And Charters looks that much stronger, that much crisper. Well, Till trying desperately to get himself back in to the round and into the fight, and he manages to land a good one. Charters' head was rocked back then, and Till has recovered well, because he looked, to me, Rod, for all the world, as if he was on the way down.
He shaked a bit there, and he went back on his back legs, on his heels, and he was wobbled, and then suddenly it turned around. Till suddenly found some life, and came straight back into the fight, and he's shaking off all the shots that he took before, and he's straight back into the fight again.
Taking some more there, and he wants to get out of his corner. 30 seconds left to go in this first round.
The tables have turned again now, where Charters got Till in the corner, desperately trying to fight out of the corner.
Well, what an opening round this has been for a final eliminator for the British lightweight title. And Charters looks mighty confident.
A fantastic first round that was. Opening first round, both of them spared no liver, and let the shots go.
So that's Julia obviously enjoying it, and this is why. That really was a left.
Yeah, he caught him with the right hand, followed by the left hook, followed straight through, and that was the start of the beginning of Till's trouble. Desperately trying to hold on tight so he wouldn't take any more further punishment.
But at that point, it looked as if he was going to go.
That's right. Charters looking for this punch now to take Till out, because he. So Charters looking for this punch now to take Till out, because he knows that he is for the taking.
And Till will want to weather it for a while and just see if he can hang on in and see if the tide can turn. See Mickey Duff over the far side, desperately trying to get Till moving. But Till still very wary of Charters, as well he might, because he was in severe trouble in that first round.
And the fans are all behind Charters. He knows it's his big chance to make it to the big time, and he's giving what he's got.
And while we expected Peter Till to have what he has got is most of the local support. There's quite a group come down from the northeast to support Charters, and they're the ones that are on their feet cheering at the moment, and they'll be cheering louder. Till caught again.
Himself how he's going to keep this man off, because he's really letting him have him.
Referee John Coyle trying to stop Till holding on, but that's what Till is doing, just trying to hold on to the end of the round. I don't think he wants to hang around in that corner. Hear the bell over the din, because, as we were saying, big local support for the man in the red corner there, Peter Till, but good travelling support for Charters, and it was the Charters fans from the northeast who were cheering most of the time in that second round again.
Yes, this is when Charters caught with Till in the corner, and he just couldn't get out of the corner.
Didn't look to be trying to get up too hard.
Well, that's where Charters just pinned him, caught some really good shots. There's a lovely uppercut there from Charters, and that's when the onslaught started to come on. But he looks a very confident man, there's Charters, and I suspect that Peter Till must be really worried about where his future might lie after this.
Well, they were doing a bit of work on Charters' right eye. I don't know whether doesn't seem to be any mark there. And in fact, Charters has gone into this round without his gum shield. The second just leant in from the ring, asked the referee to stop it. The referee did, and is now complete with gum shield.
You see the concentration on Charters' face, until looking to come back on top and take the initiative of the fight away from Charters that he gained in the first 2 rounds.
In fact, Till's come back well from the what can only be discerned at pasting in those first 2 rounds.
Another left hook there from Charters, and Till stopped in his tracks. Till's holding on until his head's clear, but Charters still trying desperately to land some punches through his guard and threw them all in.
Charters was caught by a right then, absolutely stopped in his tracks by Till.
Tables turned again now.
They must be dizzy by now.
turns out to be the aggressor.
And now it's Charters who's doing the holding. Glimpse for Peter Till of what might be. How about this, Rod?
Till looking for the big punch to throw in. There was a right hand over the top, straight on the button, and stuck to his knee straight away, the Charters. And right at the end of the round, he nodded his head to acknowledge that it was a good shot from Till, and the fight changed again.
Mickey Dust, but having a bad fight himself, he's throwing every punch, he's taking every punch. And the only calm, impassive man in the entire arena is the referee, John Coyle, who listens out for the bell. He hears it, and all he's got to do now is step out the way and let these two at one another again.
Both fighters are in tremendous condition, and they've obviously worked hard for this opportunity since they started boxing in the ring. So this is a big chance that most fighters look forward to. Some good infighting there from both fighters. Till more the person and Charters punching away at the torso.
Till making Charters miss well then. In the fourth round, who would say how this one is going to come about, but what we can say is that Till is a very resilient boxer, because he was in all sorts of trouble and now he's taking it to Charters, and Charters is equally resilient. The fact he didn't go down to that punch.
Yeah, he took the shot well. He did, yeah, superb condition these fighters are in, because they're recovering very quick from the shot they're taking. An indication that they're in superb condition.
And Till is cut over the eye. He was complaining about Charters' head going into his face, and it's in a nasty position just on the right eyebrow. But there's blood starting to trickle down Till's face. And now John Coyle can see it. Coming towards the end of the round. So the corner are going to have to do a lot of work.
It looks like a nasty cut round.
Mind you, it'd be a tragedy if this was stopped. The bell goes, and Till just indicating that it was caused by a head. Now, a lot of work to do there. But there's some good men in that corner. And that was the good punch from Till, the right, that you could see Charters just rocking about, and then Charters desperately trying to hold on and spoil it. And that's where all the work's got to be done. But with this sort of fight, it's difficult to know how Till can possibly keep that out of trouble.
Well, he's got to go for a bust or broke now. He's got nothing else. He's
been doing that already.
He can let this fight go to the distance with his eye. If it goes to the distance, with his eye that badly cut, so he's got to take this man out early, which he knows he can do because he's blocked him a few times. That badly cut, so he's got to take this man out early, which he knows he can do because he's blocked him a few times.
But he doesn't want to get into trouble, head flying around.
Well, I think that gives us a bit more confidence. I've just seen the eye cut. It gives him some confidence. And it'll turn it to the most now.
Well, Till has managed to keep the eye out of trouble so far. He's coming in with his head. But Coyle quite happy. And so far the cut stood up pretty well. Midway through this round, and Till lands again on Charters, who holds on and comes back himself. Who I think himself has cut over the eye.
I believe you're right, Ron.
Over the left eye.
Over his left eye there. What's it? So right.
The boxers, I need the round to come to an end. The excitement is absolutely intense here. There's the bell. Well, he's quite happy with what he achieved in that round, and at one time, just surviving it was enough. But he has taken a cut, and if anything, that could be nastier, because the eye is puffing up.
That's right, could have a closed eye.
That's Till. Still a bit of work to do there. The corner did a good job on the cut because it opened at the end of the round again. But to see, with all the attention going on for Charters, what exactly the problem is. It looked as if the eye was popping up and closing as well as being cut. So there we are. Now we can get a view. That's nasty.
And that cuts in a more dangerous position than Bill's cut is.
Because at least they can try and deflect the blood from Till's round the eye. There's no way they'll be able to do that with Charters.
That's right.
And also, while Till is trying to keep his eye away from trouble, the heads are rubbing into Charters' eye. So, technically, it'll be very interesting to see how they manage to keep their cut of trouble and still provide action like this. Remarkable stuff. Charters felt the way to Till's punch again. He's still nodding, so come on. Still doesn't need a second occasion. What a contest.
period. Now both fighters, though, putting a tremendous fighting, still sending in there. Who we've got?
There's not been a moment's fight about this fight.
I didn't think you would make that, Ralph.
He looked out for the count. I thought at one point the referee would have gone and took his gum shield out, but he suddenly bounced up. He bounced up a little bit too quickly for his own good. And the referee steps in and had to stop it. Charters is the winner on a stage, but what a test. Well, talk about value for money fights and entertainment.
That was a sensational fight. Fantastic fight. I really didn't believe that she was going to make it after he was on the floor then, but he's back in position and continued fighting. And there's your 3 shots.
It's a knockout.
Fight in Sicily, Antonio Renzo against Paul Charters. A word on the fight from our 2 guests this evening. Paul Charters, Colin, a bit of a checkered career.
Yeah, I think he had quite a few hiccups in the earlier part of his career, but he seems to be on a roll at the moment, so I'm sure he's going to be up for performance tonight.
Obviously a very, very big night for him. How difficult to go to Italy and try and win a title, Gary?
Well, some people have said it's almost impossible. You've got to knock him out to actually get a draw. So the odds are really stacked against him there.
He won't have much support. He's a Newcastle lad, Geordie. I doubt whether too many of them have travelled. How sort of does it help a boxer when you've got a crowd behind you and they're really rooting for you?
Well, it depends, I suppose, on the boxer's mentality. Some boxers it helps, but sometimes it could actually strengthen the opponent.
I noticed that Renzo as well has been doing a bit of training with Gianfranco Rossi, who we know on ringside quite well, and maybe getting a bit of advice. What would you have thought?
Well, if he's getting advice from Rossi, I think Charles has got no chance. You know what Rossi boxing is like.
Mind you, Rossi is a good world champion, hasn't he? He's held the title. So a brief word, your thoughts, what's going to happen?
Well, I think Charters will go out there and he'll fight his heart out because it is a title fight, and as I said again, it might be an opportunity he might not get again.
OK. Gentlemen, sit back, enjoy this one. It's off to Sicily then for the European Lightweight Championship fight between the champion from Italy, Antonio Renzo, and challenging him, it's Newcastle's Paul Charters. Let's join our commentator at ringside. It's Ian Dark.
Welcome to Sicily, famous of course for its volcanoes, vineyards, and yes, the Mafia. And tonight staging a European lightweight title defence for Antonio Renzo, very much the hometown man on the right of your picture there in the white shorts with the red stripe down the side. And what a chance this is for Paul Charters from North Shields. What a difficult task it's going to be for him fighting away from home, because chances of foreign boxers winning in Italy are roughly equivalent usually to Stockport County getting an away win at Liverpool in football terms. It's that tough a task. But Charters is a much improved boxer, sticking out his left jab confidently at the start of the contest. Renzo, all-round competent kind of fighter, but certainly not unbeatable. He's not a super fighter or anything like that, but Charters long odds against here, but he's started fast and doing most of the work in the early stage. He's looking a bit wild, but that's a good left to the body from the man from North Shields. Charters, who's 27, and Renzo really getting towards the veteran stage at 31.
Stop! Like this.
Referee Marcel Rouleau from France stepping in. Charters with those tattoos on his arms, much beloved it seems by many of the modern boxers.
Box.
Renzo has got 6 defeats on his 29 fight record, but he's been on a good run in the last couple of years, making a couple of defenses of the Italian lightweight title, and getting a warning there about use of the head, Renzo. It's quite a bright start by Charters. He's throwing out plenty of leather. His punch economy's not everything it might be, but he's working hard. And this time, again, Renzo getting a warning, this time for holding and hitting. So twice cautioned in the opening round. So this referee is not going to necessarily do the Italian too many favours just because he's at home. Renzo having to cover up a lot in this opening round, and the crew-cutted Charters making a pretty bright start. Watching at ringside, the wife of the champion, Antonio Renzo. Not all boxers like to have their wives watching at ringside, and not all wives like to watch their husbands fight. She looks a picture of anxiety, doesn't she?
Stop!
Renzo hasn't really landed very much cleanly at all in this opening round. In fact, it's been a very difficult opening round, this, for the champion. There he is, holding and hitting again, this time escaping a warning from the referee, but Charters is quite happy with that. He doesn't mind mixing it at close quarters. Tried the right uppercut inside, and again there. And he's saying now, the referee, if you do that again, I'm going to deduct a point. Holding on behind the neck and pulling Charters onto the punches. That's a good right uppercut inside from Charters, and he makes the champion miss. What a good start this is for the British fighter. A couple of hooks close in. He really does look sharp and ready for this contest. Good opening first round, that, for Paul Charters. I would have thought the judges would have given that, even away from home, to him. There he is, landing with a right and looking to rough Renzo up inside. Round 2 of this European lightweight title fight at 9 stone 9. Paul Charters, the challenger from North Shields, is kicked right at the start of the round. And Renzo, with almost his first significant punch of the contest, has Charters down. So drama in round 2. Just seemed to be caught cold. I don't think he's too hurt, Charters, by that, but Renzo will be much encouraged. And again, the referee telling him to keep his punches up this time. He's had all manner of cautions in the first couple of rounds, this champion. Looks a rough, cagey, and very unorthodox customer, Renzo. Quite difficult to catch cleanly. He's got his gloves up. He moves at rather odd angles and in odd directions. Charters looking to trade with him there. There seems to be a bit of a mark under the left eye of Charters. So this second round not going as well as the first did. Nice left from him there, though. Charters, who's had a couple of good wins this year. He stopped the Midlands area champion Peter Till in 6 rounds in a British title eliminator, and stopped Kevin Spratt in 2 rounds. And all that represents quite a recovery in the career of a man who lost 4 of his first 5 professional contests. Probably in those days, if they told you that Charters was going to go on to fight for a European title, you'd have probably sent for men in white coats to take the purveyor of that opinion away. Left inside there from Renzo was a good one. Again there, Renzo is warned about holding and hitting. Well, when is the referee going to deduct a point for this? That's 3 cautions. I would have thought that added up to a point deduction. That's only a slip. Renzo is not down. He has been down in his career. He's been stopped 3 times by that very tough Belgian Jean-Marc Renard and by Gianni Di Napoli, and he was stopped in the first round by a Tunisian journeyman as well, so he's far from unbeatable, Renzo. He's caught by a really good right there as he languished on the ropes and left himself open. This is a very aggressive performance so far from Charters on the floor in the second round, but he's come back pretty well from that, and it's a real roughhouse brawl so far in the second. That's a really good left from Charters this time, thudding into the head, then he gets in a body punch as well, and he's giving Renzo here all the trouble he can handle. Chance of Renzo from the Sicilian crowd, and now there seems to be some blood around the face of Renzo, and the referee wants this wiped away. It's a cut by the side of the right eye. I don't think the blood is running into the eye. Referee wants that wiped away, and back they get to this unremitting pressure fighting, the two of them. Neither man wanting to take a backward step. Another really good left in there from Charters.
Time.
Well, that was a pretty dramatic second round, starting with Charters on the floor. There it is, good punch. Left hook had him down. But Renzo with that little bit of a cut by the side of the right eye. Round 3, and it starts with the referee Marcel Rouleau, who's had plenty to say, and now he's warning both of them about use of the head inside. Renzo's had several cautions already, mainly for holding and hitting. Good left there from Charters. Charters with 15 wins and 10 defeats. It's a pretty mixed record, but certainly in the best form of his career in the last year or so. He's been with Tommy Conroy up in the northeast. Oh, there's a good left from Renzo. Renzo here beginning to pile in some good lefts to the body, but Charters will not give ground. And really, Charters here, as in the best boxing cliches, fighting as though his life depends on it. But Renzo has upped the gear a little bit in this third round. And he's doing more himself, and what a fight this is. Full value. European lightweight title on the line. Renzo won this, by the way, by stopping the Scot Steve Boyle in the 7th round, though Renzo was down himself in that contest in the 6th. That was in April of this year. Renzo's also beaten another British boxer in Paul Huggins, beat him in 1 round back in 1986. Explosive action here in the 3rd round. 2 good hooks there from Charters. Watch the use of the head, says the referee, and Renzo's wife can barely watch it. Crowd don't mind though. They've paid good money and they're getting full value so far. Oh, he's caught with a left and that buckled his knees. Charters there. He was hurt by that shot. Bravely, he comes back, still throwing leather, but just leaving himself a little bit open. It was again that left hook, the one that had him down in the 2nd round. And I thought for a moment he was going to sag to the canvas, but he's come back again pretty bravely. But these punches must now just be starting to take something out of Charters, and he looks a little less steady on his legs. Just not quite as coordinated and sharp after that good first round. Renzo in this 3rd round, as the two of them rough each other up at close quarters. Renzo's been getting the better of it here. Holding and hitting again, escaping a caution for doing it.
Box.
And this has been a tough round for Charters. Long way from North Shields here in Palermo. They do you no favours here at all. Last few seconds then of the third round. Renzo's round this one.
Bang!
Fourth round. Charters in the black shorts, the champion Renzo in white. Charters down in round two and with his knees buckled in the third, but still looking very much in the contest. I'm quite happy to turn it into a brawl with this champion. If Charters is going to lose this, I think he's made up his mind that he's just going to give it everything. Big crossroads fight for him in his career. If he can win this one, of course, who knows, a version of the world title may await him quite soon, and that would be some story for a man who had such an awful start to his professional career. Caught with a left, though, by Renzo that time.
Not holding. Box.
No holding. This referee, although he's French, talking to the fighters in English, which is fine as far as Charters is concerned. I wonder if Renzo fully understands. Charters looking for a big right there. Humdinger whistled past the jaw of Renzo, and probably just as well. Charters doesn't have the reputation of being a massive puncher. About half of his wins have come inside the scheduled distance by knockout or stoppage. Renzo's quite a crisp puncher himself. He's had 18 inside the scheduled wins out of 23. Backing Charters into the corner there. Charters turns him quite neatly. A lot of holding inside there in that maul, and the referee splitting them up. This is the fourth round. It's due to go 12, and the European lightweight title in the past held by such luminaries as Dave Charnley, who was really a great British fighter back in 1960-61. Ken Buchanan, the Scot who went on to become world champion, and Jim Watt, another Scot who went on to become a world champion.
Stop! Box.
Holding inside, referee not happy. He's quite fussy, this referee. But better that than letting the two fighters get away with everything.
Box.
Sometimes you see fighters, especially those fighting at home, getting away with murder. Good right there from Charters, and disguising the left pretty well as well. This really is a brawl. Not too much of the sweet science on view here. Not too much working behind the classical jab. They want to trade, these two. Last few seconds of the fourth round.
Hey!
So that's the scene here in the Stadio Municipale in Palermo. And there's, you can have a look at the condition of both boxers. Charters looks pretty unmarked. There are certainly markings around the face of Renzo, particularly by the right eye, and they're now putting some grease above his left eye as well. But I think it's a precautionary measure. Nothing too serious there. He's almost got a kind of Charles Bronson look about that leathery skin, hasn't he, Renzo? Round 5. Just to remind you, the champion, Antonio Renzo, born in Calopesati in the white trunks, and Paul Charters, the challenger from North Shields in the northeast of England, in the black. Good right, Renzo. Heads coming perilously close together. I think the referee's worried a bit about that. See, when they work in close like that, almost horns locked, there's always the danger that the head is going to open up a cut. Well, it's a good right from Charters. What a brave and courageous performance away from home this already is from him. He's certainly making sure that Renzo has no easy defence, and that's a good punch again from him, and Renzo there just lost balance a bit as that one landed. Covered up well. He's quite resilient though, this champion. Like Charters, Renzo's career has taken a fairly dramatic upturn over the last couple of years. He was a win some, lose some kind of fighter, but training with the IBF light middleweight champion Gianfranco Rossi, who you'll have seen quite a bit of on this channel, has changed things for him. He's now a lot more professional and dedicated, he says, and he's learned a lot. Late in his career too, at 31, so Renzo, his reward for all that hard work has been this European lightweight championship. Well, his wife really looks to be enjoying all this about as much as a migraine headache at the moment, doesn't she? I'm surprised she wants to come along at all. Charters again having some success with that way of his of almost switching to southpaw for a moment and throwing out a right, which is out of range, and then follows it with a left that scores. Renzo, of course, boxing out of the southpaw stance himself.
Box.
I think they're just both a little bit more tired now, and not surprisingly, because the pace of this has been quite furious at times. Oh, that's a good left from Renzo there, off the ropes, counter punch. Charters digs in a right to the body.
Box. Stop! Stop! Correct. Okay? Correctly.
Punch correctly, says the referee, who obviously got his O level in English. Probably a pretty good grade as well. So 5 rounds gone here, and the scoring, I would think, it's one of the realities of boxing life in Italy, is going to favour the champion if it's at all close, and quite a few of the rounds have been so far. They've done quite a good job with those cuts around Renzo's face. Here's some of the action from that round. That was a good right from Charters, and it had Renzo off balance and covering up. Round 6. Coming up towards the halfway point, and then this 12-rounder for the European lightweight title. Colour check for you. Charters with his crew cut there, looking to throw in the combinations. I must say, Renzo, although he's a European champion, he doesn't look on this evidence, and I haven't seen him before, to be the kind of fighter who could go up much more from this. In other words, he doesn't look world championship material. In fact, he's done pretty well to reach these kind of heights in his career, and Charters roughing him up again. Tribute really to the amount of training and conditioning that Charters has put in. And now a deduction at last for Renzo, who's been cautioned several times before for holding and hitting and holding inside, and this time 1 point off for the champion. And not before time. The referee really couldn't carry on cautioning ad nauseum. He had to do something, and he's caught by a right, Renzo. Charters here really starting to get a foothold in things. He's still got a chance of springing a shock with an away win. This was billed by many as, well, not a formality for Renzo, but it was reckoned to be a defence he would cope with quite easily. Voluntary defence of the title. But Charters is giving him all the trouble he can handle.
Box.
There's a kind of confident look on Charter's face as well, like a man who thinks he may be over the worst in the contest, and he's got quite a lot of petrol left in the tank from all that conditioning. Renzo coming back at him though, still looks strong, the Italian. Quite fascinatingly poised at the moment.
Box.
Charter's just throwing out lots and lots of leather. Keep working, keep working. Try and build up the points. Covering up quite well there too as Renzo comes back at him. Oh, 2 punches landed by Charles, but he walked onto one from Renzo. Just got a bit careless. And that's what he can't afford to do. He's been down once. Charters perhaps just needs to work the openings a bit more. Easier said than done in a contest like this one, though. But that was a pretty good round, I thought, for Paul Charters. There he is on the left of the picture. He was born in London, but very much now settled up in the northeast and looking to continue the boxing revival up there, started by the likes of Glenn McCrory and Billy Hardy. Glenn, of course, a world champion at cruiserweight. Billy, who fought for the bantamweight crown. Round 7. European lightweight title on the line. And Paul Charters making a determined and courageous bid to win it away from home the hard way. The crowd have gone a bit quiet here. They turned up here tonight thinking that they'd be cheering on a bit of a glory night for the hometown man Renzo. But Charters quite clearly had not read one word of that script. Good left to the body from him this time. Can't be a lot in it at this stage. Renzo, of course, with a point deducted in round 5. Up against the ropes by the forcing tactics of Charters, who wants to take the contest all the time to the champion. And this has got to be really the right way to do it for Charters. If you're fighting away from home, especially in somewhere like Sicily, you can't expect to do it by just scraping home. Nobody's going to do you any favors. He's got to win it and win it big if he wants to get given the decision here. That is a reality that several visiting fighters have found out to their cost before. Crowds in the past here, not suggesting that it will be the case tonight, have known to turn a bit nasty when they've seen home defeats. I remember a British referee who stopped an Italian here, having to be flown out in the dead of night amid high security. And the fellow he stopped needed 66 stitches. So I think it might just about have been a correct stoppage. Oh, Charters is caught by a right there. And Renzo gets in another left, but he's holding and hitting again. And the referee deducts another point. Another point deducted from Renzo. Well, this referee deducting the points from the champion on his home patch is almost as brave as Charters in there, I'd say. 2 points now deducted from Renzo. But he really did shake Charters up again there. Dramatic round again. Renzo. Look at all that sweat there, the product of so much hard work for both of them, of course. 8th round here in the Stadio Municipale in Palermo. Charters is caught by a right. Trying to box behind his jab almost for the first time in the contest there, but that isn't really his style, and I don't think we're going to see much of that. I think the pattern has been set. A lot of close-quarter brawling. They've both landed with some good punches. I think what's been proven here is that Renzo is the crisper puncher of the two. He's shaken up Charters once or twice and had him down briefly in the second round, but I don't think Charters has ever been really seriously hurt.
Stop, stop, stop!
Not groggy anyway.
Stop, stop!
But of course, the more tired he gets, another punch like that later on in the contest could have rather more serious repercussions for him. Renzo will be encouraged by what happened in that last round because he had Charters going. And there he is again holding on. Now, how many times does Renzo rather have to be warned about holding behind the head and pulling his opponent onto the punches? I'd have thought 2 points deducted would have been alarm bells enough for him in that direction, because of course if he carries on with that, the referee's going to have no option but to disqualify him. Mind you, if anybody who disqualified an Italian here in Palermo, I think, would want a trap door to escape by, coming up somewhere about 1,000 miles away.
Break! Break! And step back. Break and step back.
Had a busy night, this referee. Many more like this, he'd have to go into training himself for the fights. Just getting a bit untidy here in the 8th round. Not many of the punches landing very crisply. Quite tired. Can't help but thinking that Charters would be a more effective boxer if he could learn to box his way in behind the jab and then let those heavier punches go. He just tends to come forward with his jaw hanging out a bit occasionally.
Stop, stop!
This time Charters was just holding and hitting a bit. And of course the crowd saying, well, why aren't you deducting a point from him? And I think the answer to that is Charters hasn't done it before. Now he's holding again. He wants to watch that because the referee will be looking to impose equal justice, of course. But that was about the quietest round of the contest. The busiest fellow in there during that round was the referee. Refreshing water onto the face. Charters still pretty much unmarked. There seems to be just a little bit of a nick there, nothing much underneath his left eye. That's a good left from him there. Ninth round. Paul Charters, the challenger from North Shields, is the man in the black shorts, just to remind you. Antonio Renzo, the Italian southpaw and European lightweight champion, in the white. But this is close.
Renzo!
Charters has worked so hard. He's caught by 2 there, though. Once more, the worried Mrs. Renzo. Both of them, I think, pretty tired now. They've given it an awful lot. And professional boxers will tell you at this stage of a contest, it really can come down to which boxer wants this the most. Who can dig the deepest in the closing stages. Renzo, if he comes through this, and that is something of an if at the moment, is due to make a mandatory defence against another British boxer, the British and Commonwealth champion Carl Crook. And it's a nice uppercut inside from Renzo. Charters just doing rather less at this stage. Last round was quiet, and Renzo's done what little scoring there's been in this round. Renzo covering up quite well. I don't think many of those punches from Charters are actually finding the target. Gets his gloves up quite well. A lot tend to land on his elbows and gloves. Makes it difficult for the judges to score it. Wonder how they are scoring it at this stage. Can't be an awful lot in it, really, particularly with those 2 points deducted from Renzo for fouls. It's a nice left uppercut again from him, though. He's quite good with that shot.
Stop.
And this time it's Charters who gets a little cautionary word from the referee.
Stop.
He's just getting a little bit now, I think, this referee, what you'd call over fussy. He's stepping in almost every 3 or 4 seconds. 2 good shots there from Charters, who's holding on behind, and then now this is about the 4th caution in the last couple of rounds that Charters has got without having a point deducted. Last few seconds then of the 9th round. Again, a pretty quiet one. 31-year-old Antonio Renzo, leathery skin. There's a left uppercut from him inside. They seem to have done a pretty good job on that little nick by the right eye. Renzo, his face bathed in sweat. Charters still looking quite fresh. Round 10. And Charters, the challenger from North Shields, in the black trunks, still in with a chance of causing an upset and getting a shock victory in this European lightweight title fight here in Palermo. They're both, I think, pretty tired now, but Renzo, maybe in the last couple of rounds, has just looked that little bit stronger. Obviously a very hard, gritty kind of fighter with no apparent weaknesses.
Stop. Not holding.
Stop holding this time, says the referee, this time to Charters. Last 2 or 3 rounds haven't been a particularly pretty sight, and the crispness seems to have gone out of the punching, particularly of Charters. Renzo landing there with a left. Charters taking that, then another right to the head, and I think Charters is just at this stage starting to wilt a little bit. He gave it so much in those first 7 or 8 rounds, and the question at this stage is whether he's quite paced this right, because he must keep working, he must keep on picking up points. It's obviously pretty close, and the decision may still be up for grabs in these last couple of rounds or so. Punching on the break from Charters there, which escapes punishment. Renzo just a bit busier. Nice punch going into the head from him again, then the uppercut left to the body. What's Charters got by way of reply? It just doesn't seem to be very much in his punches at the moment. And I think, although he's not in any serious problems or anything like that, this is a bad patch of the fight for Charters. He was scoring well in those first 7 or 8 rounds, giving Renzo quite a bit of trouble. He's still in the contest there, Charters, but he really does need to start scoring again with those punches that he was teeing off with earlier on. He looks arm weary. Renzo with his abdominal protector there riding up above the shorts. Referee ought to do something about that, because of course it can stop body punches going up that high. An old trick of the Marvin Hagler cap, that. Well, there is Charters. How much has he got left in? There are the cornermen telling him to keep on working, maybe getting his jab out. Caught with a left there, and Renzo did most of the work and will have taken that 10th round. Round 11, and Paul Charters here, having earned himself a big foothold in this European lightweight title fight, and looking on course to maybe snatch a surprise one. Has just wilted in the last couple of rounds and needs a big round here in the 11th. Renzo, good body punch that, and another one. Renzo, who had these 2 points deducted for fouls, just the one knockdown so far. That was Charters in round 2. Briefly from a left hook. He's looking a bit sharper at the start of this round, Charters. Renzo, his defence is quite tight, gets his gloves up quite well, and there's just the suspicion in the last couple of rounds that he's just beginning to wear down Charters and start to get his measure. Watch the use of the head, says the referee this time to Renzo. Renzo, who lost 3 times in bids for the Italian title, before getting it 4th time lucky. That was in 1989. That's better from Charters. Breathing a little bit heavier now, the man from North Shields. Renzo boxing out of that southpaw stance of his. Obviously a tough, hard, leathery old customer. It's been a fine effort from Charters. You really couldn't have asked for any more from him. But frankly, in the last 3 rounds, he hasn't really done very much. And he goes down there. Just a slip, says the referee. I wondered whether there was a punch on the blind side away from us that had caught him, but no. And this time he's wrestled over to the floor. And he's getting tired there now. And again, the referee just rules that as a slip. I didn't see a punch, but he's looking marked around the face and he's breathing heavier. These are bad moments now for Charters. How much has he got left? This time he is caught with 2 lefts, and down he goes. It was exhaustion that had him slipping down before, and for the 3rd time he goes down, and this time he does have to take the count. Gets up at about 5, count goes on to 8. Renzo now will sense that maybe he can get this job done inside Chidlin, and another punch. Charters just has absolutely nothing but nothing left, and he takes his own gum shield out. He's just exhaustion. I don't think they were knockout punches or anything like that, but the man had not 1 fluid ounce of petrol left, because he'd given it absolutely everything, Charters, in a brave and courageous effort against the odds, away from home, but he just ran out of gas. And he goes back tired, dispirited. That's a sad sight of a brave, brave boxer. But Renzo has held on to the title. He just outlasted him. There was the left. Charters is a very tired man at this stage, and I really don't think it was going to take an awful lot to put him away. He'd just been worn down. Clubbing little lefts there to the side of the head. And good night. Now the formalities. Charters happily is okay again. And Antonio Renzo holds on to the European lightweight title here in...
And for Paul Charters in Italy. Colin, he had his moments, didn't he?
He did. I mean, your heart's really got to get to Paul. He performed so well, especially away from home, and to, you know, come so close. Because I actually thought he was, you know, winning the fight. And to, you know, be such an 11th round, it's a little bit sad to see.
Heartbreaking. He actually ran out of gas, I think Ian Dark said in the commentary, which was spot on, I thought.
Apparently, all three judges had him ahead on their scorecards. And, you know, the referee was stopping it a lot. I don't think that referee's ever going to do another job in Italy. He'll have to come over here. We want him over here because he's fair.
To do one of Colin fights. He'll be disappointed when he hears that. OK.
It's a knockout.
Round one of this scheduled 10-rounder for the vacant Northern Area light welterweight title. Paul Charters from North Shields in the black, Kevin McKenzie in the scarlet from Hartlepool. Two local lads contesting a local title.
And Paul Charters really looked fired up on his entry. Really psyched himself up to win his second area title, having been previously a Northern Area champion at lightweight.
And he's somewhat of a loaded puncher, is Charters.
On that information, McKenzie needs to stay very tight, very compact, and just feel his way in, and not get caught with anything stupid early on.
That was a good ride from Charters early in round one.
It's a good switch move, full left hook, then switch southpaw, and come back with a right uppercut. Very intelligent. Blood pouring out the nose of Kevin McKenzie, which can be a very uncomfortable thing to deal with over a 10-round fight. Should it go the distance?
Well, he's only having his 6th professional fight. He really has been thrown in the deep end against Charters. He's had nearly 6 times the number of fights he's had. As you say, heavy nose damage early in round one.
Very hard to get your breath. Very, very difficult. You start swallowing blood in a 10-round contest. It's a long, long, long ride. Good uppercut from Charters. That's a classic shot. I like the look of this Charters. I've never seen him before, but I'm impressed with his opening.
Oh, he looks very intimidating, coming out with a shaven head.
Apparently he hasn't been showing his preparation. I believe he's been sparring with Ruben Daro Palacio, who's due to have boxed tonight. Uppercut he uses, Dave, at close quarters Charters. It's a class shot. Just rips it through the centre.
Well, McKenzie, to his credit, trying to maintain some sort of composure. But he's getting beaten up in this opening round.
Charters has really, as I stated earlier, he was fired up when he come in, and he's watched the opening round like he's letting a lot of pent-up tension out of his system. He really is firing on all cylinders. It was a good little infighter, very, very clever little moves.
Coming up on the belt, been a good start by Charters.
It's certainly 1-0 to Paul Charters in this one.
So we'll look at Kevin McKenzie. He's from Hartlepool, just 24 years of age, just 5 professional fights. He's won 3, he's lost 2, and just 1 inside the distance. And over the other side of the ring, Paul Charters, 28, from North Shields, 32 fights, 19 wins, 13 losses, and 11 wins inside the distance.
Let's just pick up the action here. Look at this uppercut. There it is, boom. It's an ALR Mike Tyson right uppercut at close quarters. It's a real executed punch. Look at that, absolutely spot on the target. And McKenzie's going to have to defend closely against that at close quarters.
Second down, round 2.
Second round of the scheduled 10-rounder for the vacant light welterweight championship of the Northern Area. Paul Childers in black, Kevin McKenzie in the scarlet.
McKenzie's got a mass under his left eye, so he's really suffered in that first round. One, he's got a leaking nose, and two, his eyes banged up very early in the contest.
You can safely say that Childers wants this title.
And what I've seen so far, certainly advise Kevin McKenzie not to mix it at close quarters. Charles looks a really well-schooled fighter when he gets close. He rips them shots in and hooks and uppercuts from both hands. McKenzie looks like he's trying to lay down the hammer and try and gain a little bit of respect out of Paul Charles. Trying to pull him up short, some jolting shots of his own.
And once again, McKenzie's nose streaming blood. Both men smeared with blood now. It's a gory sight.
I think it's McKenzie's blood.
Exclusively.
Absolutely. You could do with copyright on that, mate. There's loads of it.
That's the kind of nosebleed that leads you to believe that perhaps McKenzie's nose has been broken.
He's got enough problems with his nose without having Paul Charles coming at him.
He said it. And McKenzie is by no means fighting a bad fight.
Good body shots from McKenzie. For a guy who's had limited fight experience, he's not panicking, he's staying very, very calm. It's a big opportunity for him.
Not a bad round. We go back with Childers, who's campaigning now at light welter. Fought for the European title as a lightweight, fought Antonio Renzo of Italy, lost. Fought Paul Burke in an eliminator for the British title and lost. Last time out fought Rashid Lawal, and that was in November. Lawal knocked him out in 6th round. That was in Rondas in Denmark. But no disgrace in that, because Lawal's a good fighter. And, well, that's a sorry side, isn't it?
I'm not sure if that's Jackie Bowers in the corner instructing Kevin McKenzie. I think it actually is, and he's a very good corner man, you know. Worked with the Feeney brothers, just to mention but two, and I'm sure he'll receive all the right type of advice. And in that round, he had a little bit of success towards the end of the round with a couple left hooks to the body, and maybe the significant signs to gain a little bit of confidence in his own mind, because Charles has started on a drum roll.
Round three then, of what is turning out to be a real gore fest, if you like, for the Northern Area 10-stone title, light welterweight. Paul Childers in the black and Kevin McKenzie in the scarlet.
And the advice received in the corner from McKenzie is there for everyone to read, to go behind the jab, try and keep it long, and that's what he's doing, snapping that left hand out. And I think that's first-class advice, because Charles looks a danger man at close quarters.
I must admit, I am impressed by the way that McKenzie's maintained his composure, because for a youngster at 24 in just his 6th professional fight, getting busted up in the opening round, he could quite easily have gone to pieces, but he kept his cool, and he's still there with a more than even chance.
Good statement.
Working quite nicely and neatly and tidily behind the left jab is McKenzie. And you know, if he's still there around the halfway stage, he could start frustrating Charters, you know, Jim.
I think he's already started, Dave. He's changed tactics completely, Mackenzie. He come out, I think, in the first round and didn't want Charters to think he was going to be the boss man, and he was prepared to stand his ground and try and mix it, but come off second best. But now he's going behind the left jab and keeping it long. He's looking a lot smarter, and it suits him much better. It's when he leans on at close quarters and uppercuts from Charters seem to get through on a regular basis. Obviously, well scored fire.
The count is 8.
Nice link to his corner there. He's got himself together, hopefully. He's really going for it now. Charters is going for the big finish.
And just after we said that he might have weathered the worst, but he's caught another right now. The legs are very shaky.
He's in trouble. The referee's poised to jump in. Still trying to fight back Mackenzie. Charters looking for the opening.
He's really hurt the younger man as Charters. Plenty of time left.
And Charters has mixed in good class. He's got experience. It's bide his time and look for the shot. There it is. And land.
Mackenzie looking at his corner saying, I'm all right, I'm all right.
That's exactly what he said.
Up at 8 again. Look at that nose. What a mess. Last 10. Still time for Charters. A count will continue after the bell, remember. And Charters, intimidatory, stalks back to his corner.
Took the words right in my mouth. He's tried to intimidate Mackenzie from when he's got in the ring. And I don't know if he's intimidating Mackenzie, but he's certainly causing enough hurt with the punches he's landing. Let's just see the action there, Dave. There's that uppercut we was talking about, which is delivered perfect. Then there's that right hook, right on the jaw, comes back with all sorts of things from both hands. And he really had Mackenzie in trouble in that round. Let's just see, you see both swapping shots. Mackenzie tending to get involved at close quarters, which is bad news for him. And there you see, powerful right-hand shot, fired up, absolutely pumped up Paul Charters.
Mackenzie looking in a sorry state.
Working overtime and trying to stop the flow of blood, leaking out of that nose, and obviously affecting his breathing as well. Charters is going to go for the finish.
Round 4.
Start to see Mackenzie try and move about, try and get the jab going.
Now, Charters must not be too eager. I don't think Mackenzie can hurt him. I think Charters has got the confidence just to walk through anything Mackenzie throws at him.
Yeah, he looks too strong, Dave. Too experienced, too much of a thoroughbred. But, credit to Mackenzie. He's really biting on his gum shield. He's determined not to get blown away in his first 10 round. There's a title on the line. He's really...
There's good right-left combination from Mackenzie.
Oh, he's really applying himself to the task. He really is. I just feel he's going to be outgunned at close quarters. He's got to try and keep it long.
But I just don't think he's strong enough. Possibly with some decent shots in this round. Oh, the eye's gone. Oh, this is dreadful. Awful cut. The eye really has gone. Left eye of Mackenzie.
I'll tell you what, he's cut as well. Our friend, Paul Charles, I'm sure he's cut on the left eye.
That's Mackenzie's blood. Oh, dear.
Yeah,
Awful sight.
He's going to have a look at it, but I don't think he's going to get the opportunity to go on. He stopped the contest.
To be. Oh, goodness. Mackenzie is in the most awful condition. All that blood you can see on Charters is Kevin Mackenzie's.
picking up the action here. You see Charters going for the finish. He sees the blood. He's got the eye of the tiger, to put it mildly, and then you see him ripping it up, cut home. And the blood was really too much, and I'm glad, really, Dave, that the referee stopped it, because Kevin McKenzie is as brave as they come, but just look at the damage. The nose is swollen, the eye's cut, and it really, with a man as strong as Paul Charles in front of him, it really was too much of a task. Kevin McKenzie tried to right.
So the new Northern Area light welterweight champion, that is Paul Charters from North Shields. Well,
It's a knockout.
Here's another big puncher now, Paul Charters, the light welterweight from North Shields. He's up against the experienced John Smith from Liverpool, and once again, he's scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds.
For round 1.
So Paul Charters then came into quite a cheer there, shaven head and the black trunks, not exactly a Marvin Hagler. And the southpaw John Smith, who's at 31, a real veteran from Liverpool. And the fellow has been some very exciting fights over the years. He once got 200 pounds in the traditional Nobbins, fighting Darren Mount in Sheffield last year. He's already had 8 fights this year, John Smith, and he had 10 last year. So he must be a promoter's man. Got a share of losses on his record, Smith, but he's won his last 2. Mark Lineage and Pete Roberts. But Charters is a Northern Area lightweight champion, actually born in London, but came straight back to North Shields. He's shrewd, isn't he, John Smith, Jim? Well, obviously, you can't beat experience, and he shows it all the time, doesn't he?
Yep, Smith is still a good test for anybody, Reg, but Charters has forced him right into business straight away. He already has him marked over the right eye, a little graze, and it could become a cut, Reg. But Charters, he's not giving him a chance to be awkward with that southpaw lead. He's just trying to bulldoze his way in. Good little exciting start to this one anyway.
He's only taken, I think, 2 counts in his career, actually, John Smith. I say he's had quite a few losses on his record, but it's who he's been fighting that matters. He's a bit handy at these what I call salt and pepper matches, the matchmaker Graham Lockwood, and this looks like being one.
Yeah, this is a good little match. Charters realises he can't stand off and allow Smith to pepper him with the light southpaw jab, so he's just coming right through and banging away. Not too much thought what he's doing, but a little bit of success anyway, putting power into the punches and just pulling his way right through Smith's jab.
Black trunk Paul Charters from North Shields, undeniably ahead now against the cagey John Smith from Liverpool. 31, but big heart, and gives the impression of really enjoying his business. Years ago he boxed for Great Britain and England back in '84. So, you know, he's showing the referee something there. He's been doing this early on, and it has...
It's actually the glove, Reg. It's not the lace. I think it's actually the wrist part.
I think there's a problem with the glove there. That's a shame. But they do take the time off for this.
there's a possibility, Reg, that tape could give us more problems than the glove gave us. I don't think it'll be too long before that comes loose, with the sweat and the water. Still the Charters, the one setting the pace, not allowing the southpaw Smith to settle down to the nice boxing. And this type of fight suits Charters much more than Smith.
It's a sheer volume of punches now. There's not, to be fair, the greatest of power. In fact, he's only stopped 5 of the 12 winning fights that he's had, Charters. But he's throwing so many of them, he does have a good chance here of stopping Smith. On the other hand, he's one of the bravest guys around, and now they're going to do something about that glove. I think maybe they'll have to replace it. No, it's also cut, and I thought for a minute it was the glove problem again, but he wants to have a look at the cut. Fred Potter, no, he's letting them box on. Okay, he just wanted the manager there to wipe away the blood so they can have a look at it. It didn't look that bad. I was surprised.
That cut must just have happened, Reg. It looks like a long cut. Obviously he's not a bleeder, but that looks a reasonably serious cut. It's quite long, a bit of blood coming out of it now. You know, it looks about 3/4 of an inch long. Yep, it's beginning to open now.
Now we can see it close up now. I would think it'll be over by the end of this round.
Yep, I think that cut is a little bit more serious than we first thought, because now that it's starting to bleed, we can see it opening up a little bit. See, this is where Smith could really be doing with a little bit more power. You know, nice boxer, nice mover, but he just doesn't have the power to discourage an opponent, and this is when he really needs a knockout punch. Now the referee stopped.
No, that's it. As we said, I thought maybe they might let it go the end of the round, but there'd been no point in that.
Well, the referee, of course, absolutely right to stop that one. Well, now the result of our fight night competition.
It's a knockout.
Check it out. Round 2.
Don't use flash in the end. plug socket on the wall there behind the car. Yeah. Oh, sorry, you're right. I just wanted this one on the floor. No? No. Okay. No, I've got another battery in there. Okay, no. Again?
I just connected Steve Holdsworth's once, by mistake.
Yeah? Oh,
Yeah.
good.
He was most upset.
Was he filming at the time?
Oh, yeah.
It's a knockout.
The next contest, ladies and gentlemen, is at light welterweight, and it has been sponsored by Mr. Terry Ketman of Tekla's Brewery. In the red corner, the Yorkshire representative is from the Elmfield House Club here in Doncaster, Carl Tilley. And in the blue corner, the northeastern representative is from the Benfield Boys Club in Newcastle, Paul Charter. Second out, first round.
at him, hit it! Keep going, Cal! Keep going, Joe! First round and last round, I don't did it second round, he walked him, didn't he? Well done, Carlton.
You know, the 18 were at once, really, in the last round, didn't it? Yeah, it's 14 now once, yeah. 14 were good now. They did catch him, yeah. That's the only thing he did. Hey? Both, they didn't.
The referee congratulates both boxers on an excellent contest. The winner and Northeastern Counters champion by a majority decision of the judges. Tilly.
It's a knockout.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, then the third contest of the evening is a lightweight contest of 9 stone 11 over 8 3-minute rounds. Introducing firstly in the red corner with the gold shorts from Newcastle, Paul Charters. And in the blue corner, in the white shorts from Finchley, Stephen Griffith. And at the weigh-in at 1 o'clock today, Charters scaled 9 stone 12.5 pounds, Griffith 9 stone 11 pounds. Your referee for this contest, Ray Francis, your timekeeper, Lou Hubbard.
Seconds out. Round 1.
Seconds out. Round 2. Seconds out. Round 3.
Billy Sid.
Seconds out. Round 4.
Steve Griffiths. Yeah. I think he knows enough Steve Griffiths to win this. Power? You mean power? He fought Pat Cowdell, you know? Yeah. Ooh.
Seconds out. Round 5.
Bit of centre, please. Yeah, please.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. As far as I'm yeah.
Seconds out. Round 6. Seconds out. Round 7.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a very hard-fought contest, we will show you appreciation to both boxers.
I thought Griffiths might have had that actually, but he was coasting a bit, yeah.
And referee Ray Francis has scored the contest, 78 points to Griffiths, 79 to Charters. Charters is the winner! And ladies and gentlemen, once again, your appreciation for the loser.